Welcome traders, this is Vishal and you're watching the weekly sectoral analysis. Now what has happened recently in the market that Nifty futures has bounced pretty steeply from 15,676 to a high of close to 17,400 levels thereabout. Now this rally has happened very quickly. In fact, if you count the number of days, it is just 9 to 10 days. Within 9 to 10 trading sessions, market has been able to pull back so fast. Now, there are many type of people who are already feeling or claiming that market has bottomed out and maybe we could move towards 18,000 or might be even 18,400 levels. And there are also few people who are claiming that this is just a mere pullback and markets would test or retest, you can say, the retracement at higher levels, and then we'll again see a sell-off which we saw somewhere in February, because in February also same thing happened. We saw markets coming down, and then Feb we had a very good rally where in Jan we had a very good rally and everyone started thinking that market has bottomed out, and suddenly we made a new low. So is this the similar kind of thing which is going to happen even this time? So I hope this entire educational video will help you to understand how markets are going to pan out in the next few days. So watch the entire video till the last, only then you will be able to benefit how markets are going to behave. All right. So first, starting with Nifty futures, we can see in the weekly chart what has happened is from this Fibonacci extension of 127.20% extension, we have back-to-back two positive candles, and especially this first candle, if we combine it with the previous candle, it's a bullish engulfing pattern, so this makes it very, very impressive. And then we have the second candle, and it is almost on the verge of starting a new uptrend in the weekly chart. Whereas in the daily chart, if you see properly, this is a pretty steep pullback, and even I would say the price is already trading above the dual moving averages, but according to me, until and unless we do not close above 17,550 and sustain above it for at least couple of days, it will be difficult for Nifty futures to head higher, because this is a decent resistance for the market. And if I see in terms of volatility, I don't see any reduction in ATR, because generally speaking, when markets bottom out or something, what happens is ATR starts coming down. Yes, at times ATR starts coming down before the market bottoms out, and at times when the price is rallying side by side, the even ATR starts falling. Both things can happen, but in this particular condition, nothing has happened. All right, and neither the price has gone up and the ATR has fallen, and nor over here we had a small consolidation where the ATR could come down. So we can see ATR is stagnant, volatility is stagnant, and price has shot up. And one more thing which I don't like about this rally is the amount of participation, which is very, very low. If you see properly from this day onwards, especially, you will be able to see that the volumes have been declining. Only in the last 2 days, especially over here, there were some sort of spurt in the volumes. If you want to see this more clearly, I would just open it in the hourly charts. Generally, I don't talk about hourly charts in the weekly sectoral analysis, but if you look clearly, you will be able to see, especially the rally from this point to this point, there was a consistent reduction in volatility. Only this candle, we had a red candle where the candle closed in red. Apart from that, participation was low. Then suddenly somewhere over here, we had a couple of candles, but overall, if you see, the participation has been coming down. So according to me, this is till now, because I am not a person who predicts market, because it is absolutely futile. It makes no point whatsoever. I mean, even if I say that markets have bottomed out and market will go up, it will just be a, on a, you can say just on toss of coin, nothing more than that. But as per analysis base, I would say this is just a mere pullback. nothing more than that, and we do have a resistance up here. So it's likely that some sort of consolidation, some sort of sideways movement might happen in the next few days. In case and only if we close above 17,550 and if we sustain above it for a couple of days, only then we will be able to head higher. But otherwise, some sort of consolidation or some sort of little bit profit booking, if it happens, I will not be surprised. So let's go ahead with the Bank Nifty. Now, Bank Nifty is, if you can see, Bank Nifty is a totally different type of animal, because what has happened in the pullback which has happened in Bank Nifty is even more faster. The reason for that is, in Bank Nifty what we had was just two positive candles. In Bank Nifty, this candle is extremely strong. This is a high wave candle, and this high wave candle has come up at a 127.20% extension, and 127.20% extensions are famous to give pullbacks or throwbacks. Out of 10 pullbacks, at least 3 to 4 will be extremely large, which we have seen right now. And on the top of that, this particular candle also means that market was extremely tired and overstretched on the downside, and it needed a pullback, and market did deliver a pullback. Now, again, if we look at the daily time frame chart, we can see it is at a strong resistance band. This is a 61.80% extension, which is combining with these two candle clusters. And we do have a very small inverted hammer. This is not a very big negative sign, but yes, considering that the type of movement we saw, very fast movement, some sort of profit booking, if it happens at a higher resistance level, I should not be surprised. Even a small consolidation move for a few days, I would not be surprised. But again, one thing which I did not like about this pullback was lack of participation. Again, in this particular pullback, if we see properly, the volume has been coming down. Only one day there was a spike in volume, the day when we saw some sort of profit booking, which was on 10th of March. But other than that, markets has been going up, prices have been closing in green, volumes have been coming down. So this is some sort of negative divergence. But when we give importance to price and volume, generally price is more important than volume. So this is not a sign that a person should go short over here or something, but a person should be extremely cautious, and with a pinch of salt, you should initiate trades very, very carefully. In fact, as a swing trader, as of now, I would initiate very, very, very less amount of trades, because the pullback is very good. And if we close somewhere above, say 37,200 or something, maybe we could head higher. And if we see some sell-off coming off, starting off from here, we could possibly close this gap till 35,800. And from there onwards, we'll be able to see what happens, because you see, some corrections are very, very different. If you see this particular correction, the way which happened in 25th October till 20th December, suddenly we had a hammer, we had a bullish bell toll, and there was a pretty big rally. And people started thinking that market has bottomed out, because, people start becoming extremely, extremely emotional. And there is no place for emotions in the market. People become emotional, and there was a rally. And this became a top, which was a lower top than the previous one. And then we made a lower low. So we have to be extremely careful this time. If this pullback has to continue, then there is again one stock I would like to share, which has a little bit more space left for the pullback. That is ICICI Bank, because it does have a high wave candle, a bullish candle, and some more space is left on the upside. But I think time will tell what it wants to do. Private banking space, you can clearly see that this has been just a pullback, a high wave candle, again a bullish bell toll, and the trend is down. This is a mere pullback. In the daily time frame chart, you can see properly that again the trend is very, very flat in the daily time frame chart, and we are trading near extremely strong resistance. So again, some sort of profit booking or consolidation would not be, uh, I could say that I would not be surprised if some sort of consolidation or profit booking does happen. PSU banks. Now, PSU banks is very different in comparison to private banking space. You can see private banking space is in the downtrend currently in the weekly time frame chart, but whereas the PSU banking space is about to start a new uptrend. You can see over here, the price has bounced back from a previous support. In the daily chart, no doubt about that, that the trend is still flat. But yes, if we close above 2870 and we continue rallying, then we could see a beautiful rally, short-term rally, just a short-term rally coming up in the PSU banking space. Let's go ahead with the next index, which is metal. Now, this is one index which has been able to impress me in the last few days. What has happened in the weekly time frame chart, which I shared with all of you in the last week also, the prices have bounced from this particular candlestick cluster and they have gone up pretty nicely, pretty impressively. And in the daily time frame chart also, the trend is up. Only thing is this particular move was very, very fast. So this particular move was extremely fast according to me. And after such a fast move, some sort of consolidation or a sideways move is extremely expected. And it is also facing resistance from its all-time high somewhere over here. And side by side, it is also facing resistance at 127.20% extension. So I think if prices want to rally higher, then we need to surpass this all-time high and this 127.20% extension. And the stocks which person should keep watching is Tata Steel. Disclaimer, I'm holding Tata Steel in my trading portfolio. It's looking very, very impressive to me. Second one is Jindal Steel and Power. Jindal Steel and Power, you can see overall it is in a strong uptrend. If the stock dips or consolidates, you can start looking it for a swing trade. And Hindalco, I think it is already consolidating. Person should be very, very vigilant and keep your eyes open for this stock for a swing trade. Next pack is Auto Pack. Now, Auto Pack, again, the pullback has been very, very strong. You can see the pullback has come from almost 161.80% extension, and then we have a bullish bell toll. But again, the trend is still down. This is just a mere pullback till now, all right, till now. And in the daily chart, the trend is flat. Although some space is still left, according to me, for the pullback to continue. It can, this index is currently trading at 10,576. We can see prices maybe testing towards 10,825, or maybe even if it tests 11,040, I would not be surprised. And a couple of stocks which still have potential for the pullback to continue would be, first is Tata Motors. All right, it has a decent space left on the upside for the pullback to continue. And the second one from my side, which I would like to share, is Maruti. Still, Maruti has, I think, pretty good space left till 8,000 or maybe even 8,100 levels somewhere over here for the pullback to continue. Finance. Now, finance, again, similar sort of candles, my friends. If you saw private banking space, I guess, then we saw we saw auto. Now, again, finance. Again, we have a sort of a high wave candle, not exactly, but a high wave candle, sort of that, and then a bullish bell toll. Again, price below both of the moving averages. So this is just a mere pullback. And we are already hovering around a very strong resistance in the daily time frame chart, according to me. In the finance pack, we are already near the 61.80% Fibonacci extension. And if I make things more clear, this is even a bigger resistance band. This is the first resistance band. This is the second resistance band. So financial pack has pretty strong resistance going around. If you look at Bajaj Finance. This is also a stock which is, trading around extremely strong resistance. You can see this is a candlestick cluster. So if there is some sort of selling pressure coming up at higher levels, and if you see stocks starts coming down, you could keep your eyes open for the stock for a swing trade on the downside. IT pack. IT pack, I guess, is one sector where I think constant fight between the bulls and the bears is going on. And what is the reason I'm saying that? If you look at the, first let me open the monthly time frame chart. In the monthly time frame chart, the overall chart, yes, we are in an uptrend, but still for me, it is not looking very, very impressive. In the weekly chart, if you see that this is a hammer, this is a decent two green candles which have come up at the 127.20% extension. And according to my analysis, actually, there was more space left on the IT pack on the downside. But as you can say, personal views, there are no space left for personal views in the market. Should always see what the chart is trying to tell you rather than what you want to happen in the market or what you want to see on the chart. So it's what more important is what I can see on the chart is that the prices have bounced back. Trend is currently flat in the weekly time frame chart, and the trend is also flat in the daily time frame chart. So in the higher time frame chart, we have been able to bounce back from a decent support, and in the lower time frame chart, that is a daily chart, I can see that 127.20% extension is still holding on as a strong resistance. And in this entire pack, there has been only one stock which has gone up, and that is Infosys. But apart from Infosys, if you look at, say, TCS, all right, it's not that impressive till now. Now, what will happen next week? Obviously, it needs to be seen and needs to be monitored pretty strongly. If you look at Tech Mahindra again, it's also not impressive in the daily time frame chart. If you look at, say, Wipro, again, Wipro is not that strong. If you look at HCL Tech, HCL Tech is okay, but not that great. But just one stock which has been able to perform. So be very, very careful when you're trading the IT pack stocks. And in case if there is any selling pressure which comes up, and if you see IT pack starts dropping on the downside, then one stock from my side would be TCS for a swing short on the downside. Simple as that. Pharma pack. Pharma pack is currently, you can see it has been able to bounce back from the 161.80% Fibonacci extension in the weekly time frame chart. And the trend is flat in the weekly time frame, and in the daily time frame, the trend is up, but we are near a very, very strong resistance. So as of now, I have no comments on the Pharma pack, but there is one stock which I guess has nothing to do with its index, and it's just trading in its own trend, which is Sun Pharma. So if there is any sort of you can say pullback or a profit booking which happens over here, then you will be able to see possibly a swing trade developing in this particular stock. FMCG pack. In this particular stock, what we can see is that the sector has been able to pull back from a decent support, not a very strong support, just from a decent support. And what we can see that the trend is flat in the weekly time frame. In the daily time frame, we have a beautiful breakout in the RSI. You can see this. This is pretty impressive. And what we can see, there's a trend line breakout also, which has come up in the price, not denying that. And one stock which you can look up to is ITC. But ITC, if you check properly, it is extremely overstretched. It is extremely away from the moving averages. So if there is a dip, if there is a consolidation, you can start looking towards the stock for a swing trade. Realty pack. In the weekly time frame chart, what I can see is that the prices are still in a flat trend. All right. It has been able to bounce back from 161.80% Fibonacci extension. All right. And in the daily time frame chart, if you can see properly that the trend is still flat. Yes, this is a big green candle over here. I'll just change the color so it is more visible for you. All right. Yeah. So this is a resistance band, according to me, a very strong resistance band, but the trend is very, very flat. And according to me, I think we need to wait and watch what happens in this particular sector. This is just a mere pullback till now. We'll need to wait and see what happens in the next week. Consumption pack. Consumption pack, again, if you see this particular candle pattern in the last week, I had mentioned that this is a you can say a bullish, not a bullish engulfing pattern. It is a sort of extremely strong bullish pattern. And what we can see is after this particular big green candle, we have another big green candle over here, and which is very big in size. All right. So after this big green candle, what lies ahead? It's a anyone's guess, because we have been able to close above this particular resistance, the strong resistance band, no doubt about that. But we need to be very, very sure which stock you're picking to trade. The reason for that is Nifty is near a strong resistance. Does consumption pack has the power in itself to go higher, even when overall markets are consolidating, or if you see a short-term pullback? So that is one thing which we need to understand and, take it with a pinch of salt. From my side, if you see stocks which you can keep watch on are probably, according to me, if you see, this one, Marico. Marico is one stock which is looking pretty impressive as of now. But according to me, 541, this particular level over here, you can see this was the previous bottom over here, and there are a couple of candlestick clusters over here. So if you manage to close above 540, 541, then we could see a pretty steep rally coming up in Marico. Mid-cap index. Mid-cap index, we can see it has been able to bounce back from a decent support, not a very strong support, but a decent support. And in the daily time frame chart, this is just a mere pullback, and we are in fact within this resistance band. So probably some sort of profit booking or some sort of consolidation. And even if it rallies, we will just be near this resistance band. All right. So a little bit of profit booking and consolidation is expected. So overall, if you see at the market, if we sum it up, then metal pack is one pack which is outperforming. I've already shared the stocks with you. Auto pack is one pack which there is some space left on the upside for the pullback to continue again. IT is, probably in a zone where it's not been able to decide where it wants to go. If IT decides that it wants to continue the downtrend, then TCS is a stock to look at. Pharma pack, again, it's undecisive, but one stock which I see which is very strong is Sun Pharma, but only consider for a swing trade, not more than that. And that also if it gives a dip or a sideways move, nothing more than that. And overall, if you see, talking about Nifty and Bank Nifty, I think both of these indexes are lacking participation, which is not a very good sign. And probably we need to wait and watch what happens in the next few days and stop predicting where the markets will go, whether it will go to 18,000 or probably 15,500 or 15,700 makes no sense, because reacting in the market, responding to the price is more important rather than talking about very big levels. That's the way I think, right? That's the way I think as a trader. I'm a more of a reactive trader, and some sort of profit booking or consolidation, if it happens in the next few days, I would not be surprised in Nifty and Bank Nifty futures. So traders, I hope this educational video was helpful for you. Do let me know with your comments below. How did you find this video? And share this video with your fellow traders, with your friends. who would find it helpful to trade wisely. Thank you.